The police have cordoned off the road in the city suburb of Kiwatule that connects to Nigeria to search for clues in the shooting of the lead prosecutor of the July 11, 2010 terror case. Joan Kagezi was shot by a gunman on a motorbike last night on her way home. The area that's always bustling with activity has since turned into a ghost town. Shattered glass and fruits that Kagezi had bought were still littered under her car. The crime scene investigators combed the entire area for evidence. Police Chief General Kale Kayihura arrived at the scene this afternoon. He says the killing bears the hallmarks of professional assassins.
The rider had covered his face, so one of the eyewitness who was close did not quite see him, but he saw the killer who was putting on a sock in the head, but he could see the features of the face. You know, the guy was not scared.
According to eyewitnesses, Kagezi's assailants were traveling on a boda-boda motorbike. General Kayihura says this revelation calls for stringent regulations on the operation of boda-boda riders in the city. A number of killings of Muslim clerics across the country were also reported to have been carried out by gunmen riding on boda-bodas.
Much as they are a convenient means of transport for law-abiding citizens, they are also a convenient means of transport for criminals. You get it? So it's important that we must engage. We are not saying that they should interfere with their operations, but we must regulate.
Kagezi's killing comes on the heels of a terror alert issued last week by the U.S. Embassy in Uganda. General Kayihura says he cannot rule out a link between Kagezi's killing to the Somali militant group Al-Shabaab.
The last time I interacted with her was actually in Jinja when we were analyzing the evidence and the charges that would be brought against the suspects we got in the east. And in fact, she's the one who guided us when I suggested that we should also indict Jamil Mukuru and Dr. Chi.
The Director of Public Prosecutions, Justice Mike Chibita, showed up at the scene where his colleague was gunned down.
In case it was meant to scare and intimidate, I would like to assure the whole country that we at the Directorate, this just increases our resolve to fight crime.
At around 7:30 p.m., Joan was driving this very double cabin, and then she stopped to buy some fruits just right next to her car. A few meters around here, that's where the fruit vendor was standing. And as she was trying to get money to pay the fruit vendor, that's when the unknown assailants were trailing her on a boda-boda, pulled out the gun and shot her twice in the neck. But the question that remains is that what was the fruit vendor doing at the time? Did you really see his face?
Yeah, in fact, I can't tell, but he was a little bit white, brownish, and he was having a coat, a black coat, sort of black. Immediately after shooting, then he went back on the boda-boda, then disappeared.
The detectives combed the entire area last night and recovered cartridges from an AK-47 rifle. Grace Akulo, the director of the Criminal Investigations and Intelligence Directorate, was driving near the scene of the shooting last night when the incident happened.
I heard gunshots, and I telling my bodyguard that I think those are bullets. So as we got out of the vehicle, people were saying, "Mnange mulamuzi bamkuba masasi." Said which mulamuzi? So I came, I saw the children were shouting, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy." So I went and shook one of the girls. I said, "Who is the mulamuzi?" That's when the daughter said, "Joan Kagezi."
Joan Kagezi's children were in the car when their mom was shot. They are now struggling to overcome the terms with the horrific incident. Sudil Biarhanga, NTV.